Hello students, this is Shahin, lecturer from Department of Zoology, Veerashaiva College, Ballari. So as we were discussing about the comparative anatomy in different vertebrates, so here I am with the same topic, but so far we have studied about the comparative anatomy of digestive system and also heart in case of different vertebrates. So in this video I am going to explain about the comparative anatomy of aortic arches in vertebrates. So today's topic is to deal with the aortic arches in different vertebrates. So before actually knowing about the differences among different vertebrates regarding aortic arches, first we have to know what aortic arches are. Aortic arches are actually the paired blood vessels that emerge from the ventricle of the heart and are basically similar in number only in embryonic stages. So here we say during embryonic stages the number of aortic arches remains same irrespective of what vertebrate we are studying. So right from Pisces till mammals, during embryonic stage the aortic arches number remains same. So the number of aortic arches during the embryonic stage are 6. And these 6 aortic arches, they are designated by Roman numbers or Roman numerals. So in the diagram we can see the numberings, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So these 6 numbers, they refer to the number of aortic arches during embryonic conditions. The first aortic arch mentioned here, it is called as mandibular arch. Continued with the mandibular arch is the second aortic arch, that is called as hyoid arch. So the first aortic arch is named as mandibular arch and the second aortic arch is called as hyoid arch. The next 3, 4, 5 and 6. These 4 aortic arches, they are called as branchial arch. So from the number 3 to 6 aortic arches, they are called as branchial arches. So this third aortic arch, it is regarded as first branchial arch. The fourth aortic arch is regarded as second branchial arch and the fifth aortic arch is regarded as third branchial arch and the sixth or last aortic arch, it is regarded as fourth branchial arch. So here the branchial arches are 4 in number, from the number of third till the sixth, and totally there are 6 aortic arches in case of embryonic stages of all the vertebrates. So apart from these arches, we can also find some other structures called as external carotid arch and internal carotid arch. So these carotid arches are also a part of aortic arch, but they are in contact with the ventral aorta. So the external aortic arch, carotid arch and internal carotid arch. So these two carotid arches, they supply blood to the head only or brain only. Whereas we can see here lateral dorsal aorta. So these two on either side of the aortic arches, we can find lateral dorsal aorta, which continues towards the lower side and forms a common tubular vessel or common arch called as dorsal aorta. So on either side of the median, we can call it as median dorsal aorta. So on this median dorsal aorta, it branches into lateral dorsal aorta. These lateral dorsal aortae, they are also called as radix or radices. When coming to the aortic arches, which are in 6 in number, so these each aortic arch, that is each aortic arch, they are bifurcated into two arches again. One is called as efferent branchial arch and the other is called as afferent branchial arch. So this bifurcation is seen only in the animals that respire through gills. So I mean to say that this bifurcation of each aortic arch, it is for the purpose of supplying blood to the gills. So this afferent branchial arch, it helps in the collection of deoxygenated blood from the heart and supplying it to the gills or gill slits of fish, or in case of larval forms of frog or amphibians. Whereas this efferent branchial arch, it collects the oxygenated blood from the gills and it supplies to the other parts of the body. Now, so these aortic arches, they actually connect the ventral aorta with the dorsal aorta. Here we can see the ventral aorta connects all the arches and it also connects with the dorsal aorta. So the intention of the aortic arches is to actually form the flow of blood either into the heart or away from the heart and then supplying it to the other parts of the body. So if you remember the previous video, I have mentioned about the aortic arches present near the ventral aorta, and they were also mentioned with few numbers. That means those numberings were actually the number of aortic arches. So as I said, the number of aortic arches vary according to the different vertebrates. As we go on towards higher vertebrates, the number of aortic arches varies. That means as a part of evolution, right from Pisces till mammals, the number of aortic arches, they reduce. It means there is reduction in the number of aortic arches. So this reduction in the number of aortic arches, it is because of the complexity of the heart circulation and also the mode of living of an vertebrate. So vertebrates, they might be living in water or they might be living on land. According to the habitat and according to the complexity of the heart, the aortic arches going to vary. So we say there is a progressive reduction of aortic arches in the vertebrate series as a part of evolution. So let us hope you understood this basic plan of aortic arches. So this kind of aortic arches we see in all the kinds of vertebrates during their embryonic stages. Now let us move on to the different aortic arches seen in different vertebrates. So here I have displayed the picture of different aortic arches in different vertebrates. So the first picture depicts primitive or basic pattern as I have explained in the previous one. So in primitive or basic pattern of the aortic arches is simple. So they have got 6 aortic arches. The first one is called as mandibular. The second one is called as hyoid arch. So mandibular arch. So this is mandibular and this is hyoid arch. That is first and second aortic arch respectively. And the other arches, that is from 3 to 6. Third aortic arches to 6th aortic arch. So they depict the branchial arches. And we have ventral aorta and dorsal aorta. So these aortic arches, they are connecting the ventral aorta with the dorsal aorta, and also we can see external and internal carotid artery, and we have got lateral dorsal aorta, also called as radix. So these lateral dorsal aorta, they form the systemic arch. in the next vertebrates. So in this session we have to read about the aortic arches in the different vertebrates. So far we read in the examples like other comparative anatomy like digestive system and heart, in examples like shark, frog, then lizard, pigeon and rabbit. So here also we can focus the same examples, but let us know in different classes on with different examples how these aortic arches are seen. But you can focus only on those examples only. So let us know that as we know, embryonic stages has 6 aortic arches and their number reduces as we go on to the higher vertebrates. But it is also seen that in case of Amphioxus, that is cyclostome, there were about 60 pairs of aortic arches, whereas Petromyzon had only 7 pairs. And Myxin has only 6 pairs of aortic arches. When we come to aortic arches in fishes, for example, so in case of fishes it is divided into 2 classes, again 2 subclasses, that is Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes. Chondrichthyes is also called as Elasmobranchs and Osteichthyes is also called as teleost fishes. So here they have given the example for teleost fish, but the actual diagram it is depicting for Chondrichthyes. So in case of Elasmobranchs or example shark, we can find only 5 pairs of aortic arches. So here the first pair of aortic arch, which is called as mandibular arch, it is disappearing. You can see here dotted line. So the dotted line actually depicts the disappearance of the aortic arches. So but in case of embryonic stage we had 6 pairs only, but when it has evoluted or according to the mode of respiration and circulation and due to the complexity of the heart, as we told, as a part of evolution the aortic arches number reduces. So this is the case here. So the mandibular arch, which forms the first aortic arch, it is disappearing. So only the next 5 aortic arches are present, that is from the number 2 to 4. Whereas the basic plan remains same except the mandibular arch. So this is about the Chondrichthyes aortic arches. So when we go to the I told you, so this diagram actually depicts the structure for Chondrichthyes fishes. When we go for teleost fishes, that is Osteichthyes fishes, fish, you take any example of bony fishes. So in case of bony fishes only 4 pairs of aortic arches are seen. That means the mandibular arch is already disappeared in case of Chondrichthyes, but when we see the aortic arches in bony fishes, the next aortic arch, that is second aortic arch, is also disappeared. So the second aortic arch we call as hyoid arch. So in case of bony fishes, mandibular arch and also hyoid arch are disappeared. So only the next 4 aortic arches are seen. Whereas the carotid arch, they are remained all over the vertebrates, that is till the mammals. Only aortic arch number changes. And here ventral aorta is also there, and even median dorsal aorta, which branches into 2 lateral dorsal aorta or radix. So everything remains same. So only number is going to reduce, rest of the plan remains same. Now let us move on to amphibian aortic arch system. So in case of amphibian, okay, let us see how actually. Before going into the plan of aortic arches in amphibians, let us see how the aortic arches are arranged in case of dipnoian fishes. Dipnoan fishes are also called as lung fishes. As these dipnoan fishes have changed their mode of living, where respiration takes place by lungs, it means they have got transition from their habitat, that is from water to land. Whereas other fishes, they are all aquatic. So lung fishes, because they respire through air, so they actually live on land, but they are not completely they are not completely terrestrial animals. But since they respire through lungs, there is quite reduction in the number of aortic arches. Here the first aortic arches, that is mandibular, and the second aortic arch, that is hyoid arches, are disappeared. And we can also see that only third, fourth and sixth aortic arches are functional. That means we can see the fifth aortic arches is not mentioned here. It means only 3 pairs of aortic arches are functional here. Just because they are respiring through lungs, there is reduction in their number. That means when there is change in the mode of respiration, the even circulation also gets changed. That suggests that there is a quite evolution taking place. So aortic arches, as we said in the introduction, as per the evolution of the vertebrates, they reduce in their number. So here we can see only 3 pairs of aortic arches, that is third, fourth and sixth. The sixth aortic arch, it modifies as pulmonary arch or pulmonary artery, that carries blood from the heart, that is from the ventricle, that is right ventricle, to the lungs for purification of blood. From the lungs, the oxygenated blood, that is pure blood, it is taken back to the heart through pulmonary vein, and it is supplied to the dorsal aorta. So from dorsal aorta, it is passed to the every part of the body, and also for the carotid artery, so that this carotid artery, they can supply blood to the brain. So that's how the circulation takes place, where aortic arches are playing the major role as a part of connecting systems between the heart and lung. Okay. Here also the aortic arches gets bifurcated into efferent and efferent arteries. Now let us move on to the next vertebrate, that is amphibian. So in case of amphibians, let us see the arrangement of aortic arches in case of urodeles and in case of anurans. So in case of urodeles, we can find 4 pairs of aortic arches. So urodeles are called as tailed amphibians, and they have got 4 pairs of aortic arches, that is third, fourth, fifth and sixth. Whereas in the same order, that is urodele, the 5th pair of aortic arches, it is absent or it is disappeared. So they have given the dotted line. So in case of urodele amphibians, we can find only 4 pairs of aortic arches, that is from 3rd to 5th, 6th. Whereas the 1st and 2nd aortic arches, they have disappeared. We can see carotid arch as well. And here the 5th pair of aortic arches, it disappears in case of siren. It is one of the examples in urodeles. Here the third pair of aortic arches, it forms the carotid arch, whereas the 4th pair of aortic arches, it forms the systemic arch. Systemic arch, it develops as aorta. So they form the systemic arch, whereas the 6th pair of aortic arch, it forms the pulmonary arch or pulmonary artery. In between 3rd and 4th pair, there is a connection. So this connection of the lateral aorta or radix. So this is the lateral aorta, right, as we saw here. So lateral aorta, lateral dorsal aorta, so this connects the each aortic arch here. So the connection in between the third and fourth aortic arch by the lateral dorsal aorta, it is called as ductus caroticus, whereas the connection between the ventral aorta and the lateral dorsal aorta, so the connection in between the ventral aorta and the lateral dorsal aorta, that is called as ductus Bottalli or ductus arteriosus. So in between third and fourth aortic arch we see ductus caroticus, whereas in between the lateral dorsal aorta and ventral aorta we find ductus Bottalli, which is also called as ductus arteriosus, and here we find the dorsal aorta. So this is how the aortic arches are present in case of urodel amphibian. Now let us see in case of annular amphibian. So in urodel amphibian we saw there were 4 pairs of aortic arches, but except in the example siren. In siren we don't find the 5th aortic arch. So only 3rd, 4th and 6th aortic arches are seen in case of siren, but apart from siren in other urodels we can find all the 4. And we found even 2 special connections. One is ductus caroticus in between 3rd and 4th aortic arch, and in between pulmonary artery and the connection that connects pulmonary artery with the ventral aorta, that forms ductus Bottalli or ductus arteriosus. So remember this, and now let us move on to the other aortic arches in the next class, that is annular amphibian. So now let us see how the aortic arches are arranged in case of annular amphibian, that is example frog. So because amphibians they undergo dual mode of living, that is both on land and water. So in the adult amphibian, that is adult annular amphibians, the lungs forms the primary mode of respiratory organs, whereas gills are lost in the adults. So because the gills are lost and there is some kind of evolution that has taken place. So as per evolution the aortic arches number gets reduces. So here only 3 pairs of aortic arches are seen. It is due to the mode of respiration, as they have evolved for aerial mode of respiration, but they are not completely terrestrial animals. But since they are respiring through lungs, we can find reduction in their number of aortic arches. So here we find only 3 pairs of aortic arches, that is 3rd, 4th and 6th. So these 3 pairs of aortic arches, they form the functional ones. Here we can find the 3rd aortic arch, it acts as carotid arch. So this carotid arch, it carries blood to the head region only. I told it before as well. So carotid arch, it basically take blood, that is oxygenated blood, to the brain, whereas the 4th aortic arch, it forms as systemic arch, both the left one and the right side also. So 4th aortic arch forms the systemic arch, whereas the 6th aortic arch, it forms as pulmonary arch or pulmonary artery as well. Here they have given pulmocutaneous arch. It is also called as pulmonary arch or pulmonary artery. So this pulmonary arch, it supplies blood, that is deoxygenated blood, to the lungs only, because from the pulmonary artery only deoxygenated blood is carried to the lungs for purification. So after purification the blood enters into the heart through pulmonary vein. So here pulmonary artery, it carries deoxygenated blood from the ventricle and reaches the lungs. From lungs through the pulmonary vein, again the pure blood enters into the auricle, that is left auricle, and from there it is supplied to the other parts of the body. Here the systemic arch. So the systemic arch is present on either side of the dorsal aorta. So dorsal aorta, here they help in the distribution of blood throughout the body, but except head and lungs. So for the head or brain, carotid arch is supplying the blood. For the lungs, pulmonary arch is supplying the blood. So except lungs and brain, systemic arch supplies blood to other parts of the body. So this was about the aortic arches in case of amphibians, both in urodeles and annular and amphibian we have seen. So hope you are getting the differences also. Now let us move on to the aortic arches in reptile. So one more thing to be noted in case of amphibian, that is annular and amphibian aortic arch system, is the presence of ductus caroticus and ductus arteriosus. Both are absent in case of annular and amphibian. We don't find any such connections here. Whereas in urodele amphibian, we have seen both of them. The ductus caroticus and ductus botalli, it is seen in case of urodele amphibian, whereas it is absent in the annular and amphibian, and also in case of the other vertebrates. So let us see how reptilian animals have got aortic arches. So in case of reptiles, they are completely terrestrial animals and they respire through lungs only. So in case of reptiles, we find 3 pairs of aortic arches, just like that of the annular and amphibian. So here only 3 pairs of aortic arches are functioned, and they are the 3rd, 4th and 6th aortic arch. So the 3rd aortic arch, it is same, acting as carotid arch, supplying oxygenated blood to the brain, whereas the 4th aortic arch, it is acting as systemic arch. So here the systemic arch supplies blood to the other parts of the body except lungs and brain, whereas the pulmonary arch forms the 6th aortic arch. So this aortic arch, that is pulmonary trunk or pulmonary arch, it supplies blood to the lungs. So the blood here pulmonary trunk is supplying is deoxygenated one. Now in case of reptiles, usually ductus caroticus and ductus arteriosus are absent, but in certain examples like snakes and lizards, only ductus caroticus is seen. So here they have mentioned here, so that is ductus caroticus. So this ductus caroticus, it is seen in case of lizards and snakes, but not in other reptiles. Usually they are absent in case of reptiles except snakes and lizards. Now let us know how this systemic arches is arranged. So in case of reptiles, we can see partially divided ventricle. So reptiles are called as partially 4-chambered heart bearing animals. That means here heart is partially 4-chambered or 3.5 chambered heart. So because there is partial division of the ventricles, so here you can observe here. So from the if you think that this is heart and here there is partial division of the ventricle, so here we can see a tube is arising, that is arch is arising. You can see the pointer here. So it is arising like this towards the left side, towards the right side of the heart. So this forms the right side, this forms the left side. So from the left ventricle arch is arising. So this is called as systemic arch only. So this is arising because it is arising towards the right side from the left ventricle. Arch is arising towards the right side. So this is called as right systemic arch. Whereas from the right part of the heart, so from here, that is right ventricle, arch is arising, again the systemic arch, but here this is left systemic arch. So because this right systemic arch is arising from the left ventricle, that is left side of the heart, that is left ventricle, so this systemic arch, that is right systemic arch, is in contact with the carotid artery or carotid arch. As carotid arch carries blood to the brain, brain always receives the pure blood, that is oxygenated ones. So because left ventricle usually it has pure blood, so that will be supplied to the carotid arch through the right systemic arch. Whereas the left systemic arch, it is arising from right ventricle. So because the right ventricle, it will have mixed blood, so that will be supplying to other parts of the body through left systemic arch and through the dorsal aorta. So this thing you just remember. If you mention it is well and good, but if you just mention how the arrangement is present, that is also fine. So that was about the reptilian heart. So this is how it is present. Whereas circulation, it is like how I explained, except in case of crocodile where ventricles are completely separated. So because ventricles are completely separated, in case of crocodiles, but the arrangement of systemic arch doesn't vary, so it remains the same. Now let us see how the aortic arches are seen in case of bird. In case of bird and also mammals, the arrangement is very much similar. So in both the cases, there are 3 pairs of aortic arches seen. So in case of bird and mammals, 3 pairs of aortic arches are seen, which are 3rd, 4th and 6th. So the first 2 aortic arches get disappeared, and also the 5th aortic arch, it gets disappeared. Only 3rd, 4th and 6th aortic arches are present. So the 3rd aortic arch, usually it forms the carotid arch, supplying blood to the brain or head. The 4th aortic arch, it forms the systemic arch, whereas 6th aortic arch, it forms the pulmonary arch, forming pulmonary artery. But a thing to be noted here is, in case of birds, only right systemic arch is seen. So here they have mentioned right systemic arch or right systemic aorta. So in case of bird, only right systemic arch is arising, whereas left systemic arch, it is not present, but a subclavian, it remains as a subclavian. Here they have mentioned near the mammalian aortic arches. So same thing will be present here. So towards the left side of the heart, a systemic arch, it is present as subclavian artery, whereas only right systemic arch is present and it connects with the dorsal aorta. So only 3rd, 4th and 6th aortic arches are seen. 3rd aortic arch, it forms the carotid arch. 4th aortic arch forms the systemic arch, but only on the right side of the heart, that is right systemic arch. Whereas 6th aortic arch, it forms the pulmonary arch, supplying blood to the lungs, deoxygenated blood to the lungs for purification. And the right systemic arch, it connects with the dorsal aorta so that it can supply blood to the other parts of the body. And here the right systemic arch, it arises from the left ventricle. So for the brain and also to the other parts of the body, they supply only oxygenated blood. So there is no mixing of blood as in case of reptiles. So in case of reptiles, I said to other parts of the body except brain, mixed blood is supplied. But here in case of bird and also in mammals, only pure blood is supplied to the brain as well as to other parts of the body. Now come to mammals. So in mammals also we can find 3 pairs of aortic arches. The first, second and the fifth aortic arches are completely disappeared, and also here the third aortic arch, it forms the carotid arch with both external and internal carotid artery. The fourth aortic arch, it forms the systemic arch, and the sixth aortic arch, it forms the pulmonary arch. So just like in case of bird, here also only one systemic arch is present but not 2 systemic arches, whereas in reptiles we saw both the systemic arches were seen, but in bird we saw only right systemic arch. So in case of mammals, only left systemic arch is seen. So this is the left systemic arch or left systemic aorta. This left systemic aorta also arises from the left ventricle only. In case of bird also, right systemic arch, it was arising from left ventricle. In case of, so the left systemic arch in case of mammals also, it arises from the left ventricle. So left ventricle, it always has it always has oxygenated blood, that is pure blood. So here pure blood is getting supplied to the brain through carotid artery, and also from the dorsal aorta through left systemic arch, it is supplying pure blood to other parts of the body. So you need to remember that systemic aorta or systemic arches, they supply blood only to other parts of the body but except lungs and brain. For the lungs, the blood is supplied from the pulmonary arch, that is pulmonary artery. So pulmonary artery, they always carry deoxygenated blood for the purification. So here the right systemic arch, it is present as subclavian artery, whereas in case of birds, I said the left systemic arch, it is present as subclavian artery. So this was about the discussion of aortic arches in different vertebrates. Hope you are getting the difference. You need to recall the diagram of heart also so that you understand it better. So you just remember what aortic arch is, how many aortic arches are present and how they are present, and what they are named as. In case of embryonic, how they are embryonic forms, how they are present, and as and when evolution has taken place, what kind of reduction or what kind of distinguishing characters you find in different examples. So now we can also add one more point here, that is there is no ductus caroticus seen in case of bird or mammals, or in any examples in case of bird and mammals, whereas ductus caroticus, it was seen in reptiles only in snakes and lizards, but in other reptiles it was absent. So if you read in this way, you understand very in a very good manner. So hope you understood the session of aortic arches. Thank you.